I'm heading out, man. You want to ride?
No, I got my car, but I actually really need to go to the bathroom.
Dude, are you okay?
I am definitely buzzed.
Yeah.
I think I will take this and I will take that ride home.
I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Welcome to the 34 Motorsports Product Showcase. We're proud to offer the full line of Simpson Racing safety products. The Shark Speedway is a perfect brain bucket to keep your melon as safe as possible. We carry every model and size of Hans device, and these have saved countless lives. The Hybrid Pro Lite is an alternative to the Hans device and is just as effective. The DNA 3-layer suit offers maximum protection when things get hot. And hey dude, those comfy shoes won't help one bit when things go south. Keep those hands ready to work with a pair of Vortex FIA gloves meeting every current standard. From 5 to 7 points, we carry every one of the Simpson harnesses, keeping your rear end right where it should be. Keep all your gear clean and together with the helmet and FHR bag, and always be ready to hop in a race car. Visit 34motorsports.com and order today.
If there's one thing every car guy hates, it's cleaning the garage. Do you want to take most of the time and hassle out of that job? Then call Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey. Agnes and her crew will have your garage, shop, basement, or even your porch looking great all the time. With unique patterns and designs, plus the ability to incorporate your logo or any artwork, your space will never have looked better. Installation is done in 1 day, guaranteed, and Zone Garage offers a 20-year warranty on the top coat. Their coatings are durable, anti-slipped, and impact resistant. Give them a call at 570-856-6067. That's 570-856-6067 for Zone Garage of Eastern Pennsylvania and New Jersey.
Ever hear the one about the frog? Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. It's a lie. But as a metaphor for us and all that we go through as veterans,
Real-world experience.
it's a story that rings true. We make excuses for how we feel. We push everything down. We tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. And some days, maybe, it is. But you've never been interested in easy. Reaching out is hard. Do it anyway. You're not alone. You've got this. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. The National Racing Network, proud to be bringing you live coverage of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship here on iRacing. Tonight, it is the stars and cars of the Indy Pro 2000 Championship, as we mentioned, and we are getting ready for an interesting race, to say the least. My name is Chris Graham, joined in the booth, as always, by Mr. James Watson, and we're also going to have an in-car reporter tonight here in Kylo Ciacelli. And James, our first trip here to Barcelona on the National Racing Network,
It's an F1 track. It's been around since the early 90s, kind of a classic-ish layout, I guess you could say. What are we thinking as we get ready to go turning laps here?
Yeah, I don't know quite what to expect. This track is kind of similar to what we're used to, but it's also kind of different. Like, I'm looking forward to see how everyone gets through the middle sections. Obviously, we know how draft locked they're going to be on the main straightaway, but when you get through the course, especially in the last sector with the chicane and all those tight corners, it's really going to see who's got the better car, the better setup. I know F1 uses track a lot as their main site for testing because it has such a great mix of corners and straightaways that it's a good idea to know how well-rounded your car is going to be.
Yeah, that's the interesting one to me here, and let's bring Kylo in here. In fact, let's see if we can find him out here on the racetrack. There he is. Kylo, you're making your way through some of the twisty bits here. This place is very quick, a little bit technical, but ultimately for these PM18s, this is a big high-speed racetrack.
Yeah, it really is, Chris. Going through the middle section of the track now, turn 4, down the hill into turn 5. Sort of a blind apex. You don't really see it until you get to the corner. Got to be careful on throttle, as always, coming out through these tricky stuffs. And one of probably the trickiest corner on the track for these cars is turn 7 and 8 here. Big sausage curb on the right-hand side. You can't hit that or you go around. In fact, there's a lot of them around here, including through the fast turn 9 right-hander. So lots of tricky stuff. We'll see how she goes.
All right, bud. Well, good luck tonight. We will try not to bother you too much here as we're going to take a look here and see who we want to pick up. Let's see. Little bit shorter of a field here tonight, James, and sometimes that makes for interesting races. Sometimes we get some carnage. Sometimes we get some insanity. We get a lot of different stuff, quite frankly, when we start talking about what you could see here with the short fields.
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of different people mixed in with the more well-known guys of the series. I think that really makes things a lot more, getting some of the newer guys their own opportunity to shine and kind of help give the run for the money of the top guys in the series.
Yeah, there are some names that we would have expected to see in this race that are not here. One of them that is the guy on the right-hand side of your screen, Nagisa Yoshikawa. He's your points leader heading into tonight's racing action, but not a huge gap. Now, obviously, it is very early in the season to be talking about points, but call it about a 12 to 19-point lead, I guess it is, over David Porcelli. Chris Preston, Evan Lee, and Kylo Ciacelli, the top 5. In tonight's entry list, no Graham Sanders. I don't know that there's any of the geodesic cars out here. Everett
Actually,
Paddock.
we have the return of Mr. John Betafear.
Oh, yeah, there you go. John Betafear going to be 5th quick right now with a 1 minute 36.366. David Porcelli, your quick timer, at a 1:35.918. Everett Paddock, Chris Preston, Nicholas Daley, John Betafear, your top 5. Timothy Vaughn in 6th. That's not a name we're real familiar with. Mike Holler, Nagisa Yoshikawa, Rosati, Frank Wynn, Frankie D. We know those guys. Then we start to get a little bit deeper in the field. Guys like Brian Karszewski, Andrew Dadow, Greg Laborde, Chelsea Herbert. Sometimes, especially if there's an early incident, that can make you very, very nervous as one of the drivers running for points.
Yeah, but it's not like there's a bunch of scrubs in here. These are still very capable, very good drivers. So I don't think they're going to have too much to worry about.
No, and the I rating, quite frankly, the I rating for the session is a 27.36. It's not like there's a bunch of slouches in here. It's not guys like me that are dragging down the strength of field rating here with my 700-something I rating. We're going to see Nagisa Yoshikawa coming across the line to complete his qualification run. I would imagine he's hoping to start significantly better than 10th tonight. And he's going to move himself up to the 6th position, 1 minute 36.521. not many cars left on the racetrack to complete times, actually. We'll pick up, let's see, this will be John Landon, currently working his first lap. And we'll pick up Nicholas Sykes as well here on the right-hand side of your screen.
I just have to say I'm so glad we're running the historic version without that terrible chicane. I'm very curious to see where it would rank on the Westshire chicane tier, because I feel like that would be very, very low on it, and
yes.
Rightly so.
Yes. Quite frankly, it's a pointless chicane. Maybe for motorcycles or something, but not for cars.
It has a point, because if you it's a very fast set of corners, and if you have a tire blowout, bad things are going to happen. However, there's better ways on making a chicane. That is just such a buzzkill. Kill that chicane. There's just no way to take it that is any part enjoyable. It's just terrible.
You know what? Nut up and ball out. Get after it. That's what I say. Chicanes should be only if absolutely necessary. I'm looking at you, the first one. Yeah, I'm looking at you, the first one at Imola, first one at Monza.
Oh, God.
We killed so many racetracks. Anyway, down to the final 20 seconds in qualifications, and John Landon will be the last driver to get a crack at getting his lap in. We'll pick him up here full screen as he is approaching a little bit past the halfway point of lap number 2. David Porcelli will be your pole center, and it looks like the lap will not be completed for John Landon. He's nowhere close to getting that lap in.
That's disappointing.
Time for the field to grid up here and get ready to go. So, Kylo, we'll bring you in here as we get ready to start qualifying in the 7th position tonight. What are your thoughts? Turn 1 can be very, very dangerous.
Yeah, it can be really dangerous. It can be really beneficial to some cars who are behind a little bit. So I'll look to make up some spots early. It's my normal strategy, make a couple spots and hold the train up behind. So we'll see how it goes. P7 about where I expected, though. So I'm right where I should be.
We're all familiar with the Truly train from F1, but now we have the Kylo train. Choo-choo!
Oh, my God. I can't believe you just made a train horn noise.
I come with sound effects, ladies and gentlemen.
I do have a stream deck with train horns. If I'm allowed to play those, I won't. But
yeah, go ahead. We'll let you get away with that one. David Porcelli and Chris Preston going to make up row number 1. 78 thousandths of a second separating your top 2. And then it's a half second, almost a half second back to Nicholas Daley and Everett Paddock on row number 2. John Badeford, Nagisa Yoshikawa occupying the 3rd row here for tonight's race. Kylo Ciacelli and Russati on row number 4. Row 5 will have Timothy Vaughn out of the Australian-New Zealand region, and Illinois' Mike Holler, Andrew Dadow, and Frankie D on row number 6. Row 7's going to see Frank Wynn and Brian Karszewski. Row 8, Greg Laborde and Nicholas Sykes. Row number 9, Chelsea Herbert out of the Australia-New Zealand region, and New England's Gary Barbati. Jason Sakara and John Landon on row number 10. And all alone on row number 11 will be Joao Lopez out of Brazil. So Australia, New Zealand, Canada, Brazil all represented tonight, along with our fine contingent of all American heroes. Tonight's race, 20 laps in distance around this 13-turn race course. .73 kilometers for those of you utilizing the metric system. I forgot to do the conversion into freedom units. One way or the other, though, the place is long, wide, and fast, and we are going to see a fantastic show. Porcelli and Preston lead the field off at turn number 13. Green flags in the air. We're underway here at Barcelona.
Oh boy, 3 wide already.
Cue the air raid horns. Kylo Ciacelli backing out down the inside as they got to turn number 1. Side-by-side battle for the 4th position. That'll be Betafer and Paddock. Porcelli and Preston cleanly through turn 1. A little bit further back, Nagisa Yoshikawa trying to make his way up to the front. He's going to have Rossati peeking to his inside. Everybody backing up just a little bit here. Oh, big lockup up the inside. Ooh. That was Kylo Ciacelli. Gutsy move there, Kylo. 2 for 1. Thank you, sir. May I have another? Put Kylo Ciacelli up to position number 5.
Our in-race reporter is on one. Let's go.
I told you I was going to make it exciting, boys.
Dynamite dropped in there, Kylo. That broadcasting school really paying off for you. Let's bring up the side-by-side. Frankie D battling with Mike Holler. Oh, trouble towards the back of the pack. Nicholas Sykes, Greg Laborde having an issue. They will be well back in the pack, but they are hooked together and not going anywhere quickly. We'll slide back forward on that look. Oh, one car way off the racetrack. That's Chris Preston. Big trouble for Chris Preston. Just now getting back onto the racetrack, but he is going to fall all the way back to the 14th position.
What even happened? That's not exactly an easy place to go off.
We can take a look. Get the replay system queued up here. Take a look. Just overcooked it wide. Oh, then he clipped the curb.
Obligatory nuke all sausage curb.
Yes, please do. The sausage curbs are doing more harm than fast corners ever did. Abby Eaton can speak to that one.
Yeah.
Breaking her back after hitting a sausage curb at COTA last year in the W Series race. So, with Chris Preston having that issue early, James, that's allowed David Porcelli to check out a little bit. The gap, 1 1/4 seconds. He is just about to the point that he can break the draft range completely from John Betafer.
Especially since the beginning of that previous lap, it was only at barely over a second. So not only does he have a gap, he's starting to stretch it out.
Nagisa Yoshikawa battling with Russ Addy. Addy having a big look up the inside of the racetrack down the front straightaway. Yoshikawa going to be able to cut him off and keep him back behind. Take a look here. We'll pick up this bout a little bit deeper in the pack. Show you the leaders on the side-by-side. This fight, 4th position, Nagisa Yoshikawa, Russ Addy, Timothy Vaughn, Mike Holler, Frankie D going to be there as well. Very quickly here, down to 18 laps to go. Not much of a battle at the front of the field. David Porcelli sets another fastest lap of the race, 1 minute 36.53. This time by, he goes 1:36.45. So Porcelli definitely able to break the draft. John Badefer, on the other hand, able to hold off Everett Paddock, but it's sitting at right about half a second or so. Then we'll go full screen on this absolutely fantastic battle. We'll go side by side here and on board with Russ Addy.
He thought about it.
Gave it more than a thought, that's for sure. Kylo, let's come to you here very quickly. How is the car feeling at this point in the race?
Car's feeling quick. I'm just about keeping up with the top three here. I'm about 2 seconds back, and it stayed like that since the start. Trying to just get rid of Nick behind. Oh my god, my throat. There we go.
This battle settling down. We'll take a look at our in-race reporter, Kylo Ciacelli, making his way down the front straightaway. Definitely out of draft range of Everett Paddock, sitting right about 2.5 seconds or so. Oh, and now more trouble for Chris Preston. Take a look at the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. The car was already in, well, it was not real good. Then he gets off the racetrack. Oh, yeah, and he just pulls it over. That car absolutely done for the night. Tough break there for Chris Preston. Pick up the battle for 7th here as this fight rages on. Timothy Vaughn, Mike Holler, Russ Addy. Oh, what a move by Mike Holler there.
Oh, that was impressive. Yeah, this is fun. We got a nice little slugfest here going on.
Seeing the comment from Dawson Weigel checking in saying, let's go Kylo. Hey, you're getting some love here in the comments, brother. Let us know where you're watching from, by the way, where you're checking in from. Give it a like, give it a share, all that kind of fun stuff. Helps us out with the engagement stuff. We got to trick YouTube's algorithm. Thank you to everybody also that is watching on Twitch here as well. One car coming down pit lane, and that's going to be Mike Holler, I believe. It is. Mike Holler coming down pit road. Damage on the front of Mike Holler's race car. That is a tough break. He will come in and get the wing change.
Yeah, that wing has seen better days. It didn't look like there was any contact. Awesome move. Oh, are we going to see around the outside? Oh.
The disappointment in your voice was just...
That would have been iconic. Oh, we're getting it now, though.
Out of a footwork car, no less, which is absolutely fantastic.
It is.
Love the paint job on Frankie
side by
D.
side. It's fantastic, and it is not easy to go side by side through that corner.
No, it's not. Actually, it's almost like it's a little bit off camber. The car just, when I was driving it earlier today to work on the cameras, it definitely feels like the car just kind of wants to pitch around through that corner no matter what way you enter it.
It does. You have to drive through that entire section at kind of on the nice edge. If you just get it wrong, just in the slightest, you're going off into the gravel. That's what makes the circuit fun. Is it's got the gravel trap punishment, so it forces you to nail the corner. Not, I'll just take a 1x. Not instead, you're having to go. I might be putting my life on the line here.
Well, yeah, it forces you. There is true risk versus reward in those scenarios, and a lot of the Herman Tilke gets a lot of hell for this, but he's designing to the FIA spec. The spec says lots of runoff, no grass, no gravel traps. That's how you get the Tilkedrome. He has to design the circuit within what the FIA wants for a Grade 1 circuit. Barcelona being as old as it is, there is still those punishments there, and it truly does punish a mistake.
It really does. I wish I know the reason why we get these tracks, but man, that's what makes Barcelona so much fun.
So at the 1/3 distance mark, 13 laps remaining. Let's run you through the field here. David Porcelli holding a 2.5-second lead over John Badafer. A kind of lead we haven't seen in several seasons, not since Greg Seitz was utterly dominant in this league for several seasons. This is kind of what we would used to see out of Greg, is he would just start to check out, and you wouldn't ever show him on the broadcast because there was nobody else around him. The next battle that we have, though, here is sitting at about 2/3 of a second between John Badafer and Everett Paddock. This is the fight for second and third. Not overly tight there. Now we're going to slot back to this battle between Frank Wynn and Frankie D. This is the closest on the racetrack. Everybody else is literally seconds apart at this point.
It is. It's kind of a throwback in a neat way. It's, this track hasn't always produced the best racing in F1 over the years, and even still with these cars and how great they are, it still doesn't quite translate.
I am a little bit surprised that we don't see more draft lock, as we see Frankie D making a little bit of an off-course excursion there. That will end that battle. I'm really surprised. This is a massively long front straightaway, and there's a couple other parts to this racetrack where you should be able to really suck up behind somebody. It doesn't help that we had Chris Preston going off track early and ultimately out of the race. But either way, the rest of the field, and maybe it's because it's a little bit lighter field, I guess, but we're not seeing the tight battles that we've been seeing here for the last couple of seasons.
No, I mean, they're following behind, but we just can't get the moves we're accustomed to. Like, I guess we've been spoiled because all we've seen for the last several seasons is a 3, 4, 5 car slugfest lap after lap.
We will not have to worry about ho-hum racing next week. The series heads off for a 60-lap excursion to New England and lobster country.
Yes.
Clark the Advac drinking Cuddy Sack up at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. That is going to be fun. I cannot wait. Then we head off to Long Beach, and then another racetrack that's going to be new to the National Racing Network and, quite frankly, new to a lot of the drivers in this series as well. Heading off to Donington, visiting the national layout of that circuit. Kind of an interesting schedule to start the season here, James.
It is. I love it. You know that the whole community goes nuts when it's oval week, so I just can't wait. It's been a long time since I've been back to New Hampshire, so I'm looking forward to it. I can think of one person that I know is happy to be going back to Long Beach. happy Yoshikawa noises in the distance. And then Donington is Donington.
If only iRacing would give us rain.
Don't forget, guys, I got P2 at Long Beach last time we went there. I'm not too disgruntled about going there again either.
Oh yeah, I remember how that race did. Happy me noises.
Yes. He's actually quite gruntled. We're going back to Long Beach. And the other one, James, that I wanted to bring you in on the discussion here for... oh, man, hold on. We have to get the comment. Jason Owens is checking in. No David Land this week? Not surprised. He had a rough go in bottom split last week at Road Atlanta. But discussing the point standings here, James, it's early in the season. We do have some tight battles, but I think we're seeing a little bit of Graham Sanders not having the teammate help. Maybe you're not putting as much effort in over the course of the week if not as many drivers are running it. It's sort of like one of those things that can snowball. Right now, the Team Watson Racing guys are looking pretty good. You have 4 of the top 5. And we're seeing some names that we haven't seen before. Evan Leon, big hit. Oh, huge hit for Frankie D. Good Lord. Show you that one on the Hot Shoe Racewear instant replay. Big hit into the tire barrier. I almost want to see that one from the in-car. Going on board with Frankie D. This is into turn 13. Little bit of a bobble there. Let's take a look here.
Yep.
Oh.
Same thing that happened to Preston.
God, I hate sausage curves. Trouble as well for Gary Barbotti. And he's just electing to pull that car off the racetrack. So, picking up your race leader, David Porcelli, with a 3.5-second lead over John Bedifer and Everett Paddock, and we have a battle on the racetrack. In fact, we have 2. Let's bring this one up. We'll go side by side here. One on the left-hand side of your screen is the fight for second, John Bedifer and Everett Paddock. Right-hand side of the screen, Kylo Ciacelli and Nicholas Daley. Jason Owens saying he is very less than gruntled. He won't be able to make it next week. I thought the equipment shortages were over and things would ship a little bit quicker than they are, but apparently not. So down to 9 laps to go here, James, just past the halfway point. And to kind of wrap up and put a bow on the discussion of the point standings here, we sort of have, with new names at the top, it really tells me that this could be a position where this is anybody's race for the championship.
It's going along with the theme of this series. I mean, yeah, the Giudessa guys have won the last few, but it's been anyone's game up until the very end. Like, you legitimately did not know who could win it. And that's what's fun about the series. There's a lot of people that have legitimate shots to bring home the championship.
Man, watching these guys hang the back end of these cars out. John Bedifer almost sideways through the corners, and Everett Paddock is doing a very nice job of getting caught up here. Wonder if we see, do you think you almost have to make the move in turn one with the draft, or can you really try to hustle your opponent into a mistake? I say, James, did we lose you here?
I'm back. Technical difficulties.
I didn't know if you were coming to me or not. I didn't think I heard my name.
No. You're doing a very nice job here of holding off Nicholas Daley. How difficult is it to keep someone behind you and not make the little mistakes that can let them catch right back up?
Well, like that little mistake I just made there, touched the gravel on the left side.
That is correct.
He's there, but not close enough. He been here for about 3 or 4 laps now. He doesn't seem to be able to get right up on me, but it's me. I can make a mistake at any time, so stay tuned, folks.
Exuding self-confidence out of our in-race reporter. Daley swings it way wide, trying to get some momentum build up, but it's not going to be enough. And man, Everett Paddock is like right there as well. It's really interesting to watch Nicholas Daley running these kind of alternate type lines. Ooh.
It is. Seems to be working for him pretty well.
We'll go back to the side-by-side here. Well, as soon as we cut back, Nicholas Daley starts to catch right back up again. It almost feels like he's making time in some places and losing a lot in others. Consistency of laps is very, very important. The 10-lap average... Oh, go ahead, James.
Especially in this series, we see just the tiniest little mistake, and then suddenly you have at least 1 to 2 cars that just suddenly will not leave you alone.
Oh, Daley thought about the big move. Down into turn 1. Pulls back in line. He's going to try to set it up later. It's funny, you talk about the consistency of laps. The 5-lap average for John Bedifer, 136.738. The 10-lap average, 36 with a 684. Everett Paddock, the 10-lap average is a 669, and the 5-lap average is a 704. He's gaining on John Bedifer. Not a ton. He's wiping hundredths of a second a lap off. But that may be all that you need.
Yeah, especially when this series is so close. The tiniest little increment of time could be huge. We can't figure out, we can't truly know how much one good corner, one small mistake is gonna mean something.
Paddock absolutely closing in here as race leader David Porcelli crosses the line to make it 5 laps to go here at the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. The camera looks you're seeing tonight, by the way, the set that we have on both cars right now, the exact same camera positions as they used in 1991. Oh, big dive up the inside by Paddock. What a move into turn 1. Can he hold on to it out of 3? Yes, he can. Put Everett Paddock up to the 2nd position around John Bedifer. And right as we cut away, Nicholas Daley able to get around Kylo Ciacelli as well.
A slow down. I got to slow down in the second to last corner.
No.
A little greedy.
so easy to do on that corner as well. And John Bedifer is right there on Everett Paddock. Paddock was able to complete the pass, but definitely going to have to work for that second place position. And they are closing the gap ever so slightly to race leader David Porcelli. But with 4 to go, still sitting at about 5 seconds. Really not much you're going to do there unless Porcelli has a big issue. Seeing Nicholas Daley trying to snake his way down the front stretch. Break the draft of Kylo Ciacelli. I know it theoretically works, but it's still dumb.
Yeah.
The only thing that aggravates me the only thing that aggravates me more than the drivers doing the dragon weave, I believe is what they call it in IndyCar, in the virtual world, is when they do it in the real world. And it's going to get someone killed. Oh, big dive. Oh, and he's going to go off the track. John Bedifer slides off the race course. He is going to rejoin right in front of Nicholas Daley. Daley's going to have to get on the binders. This is now going to be a 3-car battle for the 3rd spot.
Wow.
Jason, your comment was, well, we'll say exceedingly poorly timed. Does John wait until the white flag to make his move here? No, he does not. Indy shoots it off into the gravel.
Just J09 things.
The commenters curse, not commentators. We didn't do that one. John, please
Don't
direct
pin that
your
on
hate
us.
mail to Jason Owens. So now with 3 to go, Nicholas Daley starting to check out, and Kylo Ciacelli going to have a look here on Bedifer. Bedifer gets it off into the grass just a tick. Ciacelli up to the inside of the racetrack. He'll make that pass look easy into turn number 1. Bedifer cannot fight back, at least not immediately anyway. So now Kylo Ciacelli going to potentially be fighting for a podium as we've got a lap car off track in the gravel. Let's go on board here with Kylo Ciacelli, do a little bit of a ride along here with our in-race reporter. Two laps to go here in Barcelona. Kylo Ciacelli trying to catch Nicholas Daley. Wow, made up a lot of ground there into turn 1. Close the gap to inside of 1 second.
Wow, a little snake. A garden snake. That was interesting.
What did we call what they were doing down the front stretch then? Is that just an absolute python?
I guess. rattlesnake, something along those lines.
There's a joke to be made there, and I just can't touch it.
I'm glad we're on the same page. I'm terrified we're on the same page.
So as things have settled down here, let's take a look at our race leader. David Porcelli had an early fight with Chris Preston. That disappeared quickly when Preston got off track right here at the final corner. Now the white flag is out. There is one lap to go for race leader David Porcelli. What serves to be I'll say a pretty good points night. The strength of field number is not as high as we normally see, so you're not going to earn as many points for the win. However, we're also not seeing a ton of races that are going official and or splitting. Nagicio Shikawa only going to be good for a 6th place finish tonight if he can stay where he is on the racetrack. So David Porcelli will close the gap. He'll definitely make up 19 points over a 6th place finish. Through the final couple of corners, clear of the final curb. Checkered flag will go in the air. David Porcelli gets the win in Barcelona. Everett Paddock will hold on for 2nd. Sets a new fastest lap of the race. And Nicholas Daley, by just 3/4 of a second, will hold off Kylo Ciacelli. John Bedifer coming home in the 5th position, but there is your race winner, David Porcelli. Just waiting on the last couple of cars to come across the line here. We'll be able to get you your full race rundown. I'll tell you what, though, James. I am absolutely floored at the race we saw tonight. I did not see somebody winning this race by almost 6 seconds.
I didn't either. This race was very fascinating. I don't think we had an idea where this race was gonna go. It was kind of bizarre from the get-go.
Yeah, and instead of the normal nail-biting, kind of very tight action, what we saw a lot of was close racing, close-ish anyway, when there were battles, but it was more about, was somebody going to make a mistake? Were you going to clip a curve? Were you going to get a slowdown? That's really what decided the outcome of this one.
Yeah, just the tiniest little touch of the curb just nuked several people to oblivion.
Time to make the donuts for your race winner. Let's take a look at your full race results here this evening. David Porcelli, your winner by 5.5 seconds over Everett Paddock. Nicholas Daley coming home 3rd to round out the podium. Kylo Ciacelli, John Beta for the top 5. Nagicio Shikawa, Timothy Vaughn, Russ Addy, Frank Wynn, and Andrew Dadow, your top 10. 11 to 15, Brian Karszewski, Mike Holler, John Landon, Jason Sakara, and Nicholas Sykes. Greg Laborde, Frankie D, Gary Barbati, Joao Lopez back through the 19th position. 20th, big surprise of the night, Chris Preston. He's making a fairly sizable iRating donation. And Chelsea Herbert rounding out the field in the 21st position. So we'll take a look here and see who we're going to have to talk to. Just waiting on our race winner. So we'll start the interviews with our third place finisher tonight here, Mr. Nicholas Daley. And man, I'll tell you what, bud, that one was interesting.
Yeah, that was tough, especially at the start. I don't know how many positions I lost, but then slowly just stayed on the pace and was barely able to keep up with Kylo. But yeah,
you had a nice battle there with Kylo in the later third quarter of the race, whatever it was. You were able to get by him, and then all of a sudden, John Bedifer is appearing right in front of you. What's going through your head at that point?
Yeah, I was just really hoping I could get in front of him right there at the earliest opportunity, really, because I know passing John is kind of tough. So, yeah, I don't know if he had damage or something because it looked like he started falling off.
Yeah, it looks like it. Ultimately, John coming home in the 5th position tonight. But, man, that's a heck of a run for you. It is a fantastic points night. Taking a look and seeing where you are in the numbers. And going to be a good way to start moving up the food chain here. Entering the night 25th in points. Now, obviously, you only had one weekend. This was your second race of the season. Got to be a little bit of a confidence boost here to know that you're putting up some pretty good finishes here to start the season.
Yeah, definitely a good points haul here tonight. I know we're missing a few people, so I don't know if the strength of field is quite as high as it usually is. But yeah, nevertheless, very happy for my first podium in the broadcast series.
Yeah, we're pretty psyched to be talking to you, that's for sure. And before we let you go here, congratulations on the podium and get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, thank you guys for doing the broadcast and everyone out there racing the PM18s. It's a lot of fun. Thanks, everyone.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And let's bring in Everett Paddock, our runner-up here this evening. And Everett, you had I'll say a fairly quiet night. Great battle with John. Ultimately, he got off the racetrack and had a bit of an issue, and then things sort of got quiet for you. But tell us about the night from what you saw from the driver's seat.
Well, I think you summed it up pretty well, Chris. But it was I was watching John. I think John jumped me at the start, did a good job, and I just wanted to stay behind him, keep my tires in good shape, and I think I caught John on a night maybe where he didn't run as much as his normal practice for the races, and he was slipping and sliding a little bit. So I was able to stick with him pretty good, and then get by him into T1.
That's one of the interesting things that you mentioned was tire management. That's not usually something we talk about in the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Was that a big concern for you throughout the race tonight?
I don't know about big, but the sweeping corners here seemed to you could definitely overheat the tires, and you could the combos would affect them as you would go from corner to corner. So you had to just kind of keep an eye on it. It wasn't really wear so much, I think, as heat.
All right, buddy. Well, congratulations on a very nice finish tonight here. Going to give you a big boost in the point standings as well with a good runner-up finish. So congratulations on that one. And before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Hey, I just want to thank my teammates. Thank Russ Addy. Looks like he finished 8th, had a good run. So thanks for the broadcast tonight, guys. And have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too, bud. Hopefully we're talking to you again next week. And let's bring in our race winner here tonight, Mr. David Porcelli. And, man, good Lord, bud. You had a little bit of a battle there early with Chris, and then he was gone, and you were kind of doing your own thing and trying to hot lap this place.
Yeah. Felt like the car was hooked up today. Not sure what's going on with the geodesic guys, but yeah, I was really happy to be able to capitalize on a fast race car and just hit all my marks and bring it home safely.
One of the things that we noticed, we had Kylo in with us as an in-race reporter, and it seemed like there were a lot of incidents of slowdowns, curb clipping, that's really where the trouble spots were tonight. Not so much car-to-car action, but just drivers making mistakes. How difficult is it when you're the leader and you just have to hit marks like that? It's almost, I would say, mentally tiring a little bit, just because you don't have that competition keeping you on your toes.
The best analogy I can give to it is, you've ever like juggled and you've tried to count to your record, and then you set some, record, and you never get to it again. And it's like crossing to your next record while you're doing something, and you can't drop a ball, right? You just can't, or else that's it. That's like, that's all you get. I don't know if that makes sense or if that's relatable, but like whenever I was little, I remember it was like playing lacrosse, or like people who play basketball, they'll take free throws and they'll count how many times they make it before they miss it for the first time. That's what it's like when you're in the lead and you just need to hit your marks. And unfortunately, last week I dropped my ball, and it was on the first corner of the last lap, and I knew today all I had to do was just hit my marks and bring it home. And so I was really trying to make up for that error last week that put both me and Chris in a tough spot going into the final chicane. So yeah, this is a great way to make up for it, and it was really exciting. I hope that analogy is helpful.
It was. Interesting that you say it the way you did, because it's a lot of what we heard out of Greg Seitz several seasons ago when he was doing exactly what you did tonight. We haven't seen a dominant performance like that since Greg departed the series. Are you hoping to see more of these this season? Would you rather the big, tough strength of field and really have to fight tooth and nail every week, or are you okay with every once in a while just getting to have a nice Thursday night drive?
Oh, of course I'm okay with taking home the win, but I do appreciate my competitors, and I'm gonna bet that something was up with the geodesic guys this week, that they weren't able, that their schedules were off or something, because the people I race against in this series are extremely fast and capable. I don't think that the person who takes home the championship is necessarily faster. They were just able to hook it up throughout the entire season. And so I want to be able to fight with these guys and demonstrate like, hey, like, it was this season that I had it hooked up. So I'll take these wins when I get them, but yeah, I look forward to the battle throughout the championship.
All right, bud. Well, congratulations on the win tonight. And before we let you go, get all those sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Team Watson Racing. The setups are really fast in the Pro Mazda, and the IndyCar road sets are really coming together. If you guys want to run them, just look them up. You can reach out to James yourself. Shout out to Racecraft One Indianapolis. Hi to the family. And thanks so much to National Racing Network for an awesome broadcast every week.
All right, bud. Well, thank you very much. We appreciate those kind words, and looking forward to talking to David more this season. Man, this one was fun tonight. We'll get the comment in here quickly because, quite frankly, it's going to make James laugh. Tasty checking in, saying, I'm late, but let's go. Yeah, thanks for joining us. Thanks for hanging out. Kylo, we'll come to you first. Tell us about the night from behind the driver's seat and what you thought of the IP2K's first trip to Barcelona in quite a while.
Man, Barcelona's a weird track. It's not the greatest thing to watch, but that was the closest thing to a Formula One race you're going to see in the Indy Pro 2Ks, just being consistent lap after lap, and made one mistake and I lost the podium because of it. Still happy with P4, but disappointed I'm not on the podium. We'll look to come back next week. I'm always quick on the oval, so we'll see what we can do then.
Yeah, we're looking forward to that one as well here. And James, we got our ho-hum race, at least for the early part of the season, out of the way. We still have the Nordschleife coming up to close out the season. But looking ahead to next week in New Hampshire, it's not the traditional kind of oval that we run, a little bit Phoenix-esque in some respects. But that place in New Hampshire is wide and crazy fast for these PM18s.
It is. It takes such a unique way to drive it. Not a way that not a lot of people in the series are used to. Again, it's been a long time since we've gone here in official. I want to say 2020. I might be wrong about that. Knowing me, I'm probably wrong about that. But it's been a long time. So Seeing everyone try to get used to it is going to be cool to watch.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun week next week, and we're really looking forward to it. A lot of stuff coming up before then, however. Monday night, it will be the Fuel Premier Series running their season finale. The Fuel Finals Championship race coming up on Monday night. That'll be about 8:45 or so in the East. Wednesday night, the Sim Racers Club back in action. Again, about 8:45 or so in the East. Then Thursday night, we're back here with the Ezra IndyCar Series, followed by the Indy Pro 2000 Championship. Keep an eye out for all our real-world racing coverage coming up as well. This weekend kicks off Pennsylvania Speed Week for the 410 Sprint cars. I believe they're going to run 10 straight nights or 10 races in 12 days, something like that, all across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and somehow they dip into Maryland for a race, which don't ask. Pennsylvania Speed Week coverage coming up on the National Racing Network, courtesy of Burt Wojcik and Adam Robright from the High Side Hustle. Make sure you check that out as well. And we are looking forward to coming back here with you next week. But until then, it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For Kylo Ciacelli, James Watson, and everybody here at the National Racing Network that makes these broadcasts happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you all soon. Have a great night, everybody.